got a couple things I want to mention. I have them written down here on a list. Look at that. I'm making lists.
Professional.
Look at me. It is what it is. First off, I saw a post today from the Goonburgers. The Goonburgers.
Shout out Jake and Brian.
Shout out Jake and Brian and a whole squad over there. I'm guessing they got everybody. They hired on some people because now.
That's what I heard.
7 days a week, you can go down to the Irrelevant Coffee and get your Goonburgers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
So excited.
You can get burgers anytime you want. You come down to the pizza shop, you're like, Joey's not there. I don't feel like pizza. You go get a Goonburger all the time. So that's good. Go do that. Go support them. Yeah, tasty hamburgers and all the things. Cross that off the list. Bang. Number 2, finally got in touch with the cats from Portland Water.
Nice.
They don't make the water, but they put it in these fancy cans. Had it first at Vault 31, which we'll be going to later today.
Yes,
to
I'm
play
excited.
games and eat foods and hang out with some cool folks over there. Yeah, so Liquid Death never got back to us with the sponsorship. We still got a couple of their cans around, but we're gonna go with the Portland Water now.
Can we get some? We'll cover up these things with tape.
Yeah,
they don't get free sponsorship
Koozies on it,
anymore.
stuff like that.
Just get AO show
It
on.
is what it is. But yeah, Portland Water, cool cats. Might be, a couple of young cats that started a fucking water company. Pretty ballsy. Maybe get them on, have them talk about how we put water in cans. Quickest podcast ever.
Like, why water?
Yeah.
Why water?
Yeah, everybody needs
Why
to be
not
hydrated.
water?
Bottle at the source. I asked them because they got the still and the sparkling. I asked them if they're going to do flavors. They say they can it at the site.
Ooh.
So to put flavors in it, they would have to ship it off somewhere, and they don't want to get away from their model yet. So I was like, good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, that's something we could talk about later. But yeah, Portland Water, check them out. Available at some of your favorite establishments, including Nonavo Pizza now, Vault 31, I believe Cookie McCake Face, Speedo Cappuccino, right next to Fry Baby, and other fine establishments. Cross that off the list. And one pretty cool thing, we just had a little quick blip on it too. Michael McClernon, who was on the podcast a couple episodes back, he just bopped in the shop recently. You all met him.
Very cool guy.
Yeah.
Immediately want to talk to him kind of energy.
I
Like,
mean, he'll talk to you. He'll give you the conversation.
I was going to say, he was going
And when
for
you're
it.
done with the conversation, he's going to hit you with this. I got another quick story for you. 2 hours later, you'll have a couple more
You
stories.
should put
for
him
the
and
pod.
Rob in a room. Just watch what happens.
Oh,
We'll
geez.
see what happens. Super cool dude. We're going to have him back to talk about the MK Ultra project that
Oh, that's going to be a cool one.
he may or may not have been a part of or in proximity adjacent to. Alas, a story from the podcast world about Michael and reconnection. So Michael's podcast was on. People heard his story. It was one of our more watched episodes. Super cool dude. Been around the world. Did a lot of cool things. We get a comment on the YouTube thing. It was, hey, I used to work with Michael back in the day. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Didn't think much of it. I get hit up on the AO Show email account. Hey, Joey, this is Tim in Peru. So we got a global audience in Peru, or at least, South America. That's where Peru is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
South Jersey. whatever it is.
Peru, Jersey.
So he's like, hey, I ain't seen Michael in a long time. Gives me a little bit about their backstory. Said he worked with him for like 7 years when he was in Bill Graham's catering thing in San Francisco. Michael kind of mentored him, brought him up through the ranks. The guy didn't have a whole lot of experience. They kind of have, parted ways. Michael told me a story that one day he just got a package in the mail. He opened it up and it was a custom handmade knife and an article of Tim's restaurant that had opened and got accolades in New Mexico. They lost contact, blah, 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 blah. Tim in Peru was trying to get a hold of Michael, couldn't find any information on him, reaches out to me. Boom, we got those two in touch.
Hell yeah.
Super cool story. They start talking, had a conversation. Tim's like, hey, Michael, you got your passport? He's like, yeah, I got it. Tim buys Michael a plane ticket to Peru. Those guys are going to reconnect.
So sick.
And
he
the
said that.
podcast may have had something to do with it or not, or Kismet, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Bit of a beautiful story and something that I'm all about. And I'm glad we were able to facilitate that. So, Tim, thank you. Michael, you'll be back on the show soon. And that's what we do.
Yeah, tell us all about Peru.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he said too, he's like, hey, homie, you ever want to come to Peru, we'll go do it up. So, yeah, they got
Peru
ayahuasca in Peru,
podcast?
right? Yeah, a Peru from on site. The ayahuasca sessions in Peru.
Okay.
Yeah. I
See
mean,
what you come up with.
Right.
just a couple,
Yeah,
you know,
gotta
have
open
some
up
tea in
the third
jungle.
eye and just be like, all right, so pizza is a concept.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where pizza was invented. Planet Xenon.
You like when you get off the plane in Peru and a lot of those countries that are up there in the Andes and stuff like that, they just start handing you coca leaves because that helps with the altitude sickness. You just chew on the coca
It
leaf.
improves blood flow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the ancient Viagra type thing. Yeah, but
sure.
You ever see the
speaking
sort
of Viagra,
Top
you ever
Gear.
see?
Yeah, you ever see the way my brain works? Yeah, I'm fully not wired normal, and so I will have some weird connections. You ever see the episode of Top Gear where they went through South America?
Yeah.
And they talked about, like, they gave them, what was it, Vaseline, a bunch of condoms, and Viagra, and told them to get through the Andes, essentially.
Cyanide.
No. Viagra.
Hey.
Is this the time?
Apparently, Viagra, for reasons unknown to science, stops you having an edema in your lung.
I thought it was more the trouser department it concentrated on.
And
Huh?
yes, that was their reaction. So condoms to be able to cover some of the ducts for their vehicles so that they wouldn't fill up with water when they're fording rivers. Vaseline as a lubricant for like one of the parts or something like that. And then Viagra helps with altitude sickness. It increases the amount of oxygen your body has, and so you can take it. So it was kind of a funny joke, but that's where I found out about that. So it makes sense that coca leaves would do that too.
Increases oxygen.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you know, blood
it's
flow,
a
oxygen.
vasodilator. Yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah, you can get more blood to all the parts.
To that everything.
Yeah. Yeah, give you toe cramps, as they say. In Peru. Anyway.
And so I ended up just going to Taco Bell across the street, just really feeling that wound in my heart. Until eventually I went to San Francisco with my sister and my dad, and we got some like strip mall ramen there. And even that was like miles beyond what I was used to having. Because some of the places that sold ramen in Sacramento were just reheating packed ramen, adding ingredients on top. And like,
Say that's the thing, man.
yeah.